Hello everyone, my dear followers. Today I want to welcome you to a new chapter of What If Naruto Had the Rinnegan and Fell in Love with TAYUYA. Remember, if you want more chapters, just smash that like and subscribe button. Enjoy.
Chapter 32 The Two Gods. The moment Yaoyorozu no Kami met Hachiman, the star of light was swallowed by the myriad gods. A sphere made of pure energy accelerated towards the sage. The sage laughed. He was amused, humbled, impressed. "We accept our defeat, son of man," he declared as he allowed the sphere of elements to hit him. The moment the sphere made contact with his body, it exploded. The god fell, the same way the one-eyed god fell 100 years ago, he thought with amusement. It appears that our time has come to an end. It meant nothing though. He would simply be sent outside of the samsara and be reincarnated into a different body. Suddenly, he felt his body being grabbed. He turned towards the source. Naruto stood on the edge of the cliff with a chain in his hand. "I am not letting you die just yet," Naruto told him. "I need you to teach me what I need. You should know it already. A fool is trying to revive Hitatsu no Kami." Rikudo chuckled. "We believe that you have surpassed us, son of man. There is nothing more we can teach you." Naruto simply looked towards the sage with cold eyes. "Now, cease this foolishness and allow us to rest." "No," Naruto stated without a moment of pause. "I will not. I defeated you and I want you alive. As a loser, you have no right to dedicate what I will do." Rikudo's eyes became wide hearing that. How many years has it been since someone dared to talk to him in such way? "You remind me of her." As he was dragged back up, Rikudo remembered his salvation. Naruto stared at Rikudo, examining the legend closely. Rikudo simply stared at him with amusement and a trace of longing. "Son of man, why have you kept us in this world?" "Because I want to," Naruto answered bluntly. So selfish, so willful, so similar to her. "Is that so?" he asked rhetorically. "Yes, it is so," Naruto answered. "So, what is supposed to happen now? Will my other eye transform into Eye of Samsara too?" Rikudo chuckled. "You did not realize it yet, chosen of Samsara?" he asked. Naruto raised an eyebrow as Rikudo pointed towards the ocean. Naruto moved there and saw his reflection. Part of him realized that this is the same thing that his past incarnation did. Staring at him were a pair of the eyes of Samsara. "It transformed?" Naruto asked in wonder. Rikudo nodded. "It did the moment you defeated us. The eyes of God recognizes you as its wielder. But this is not the eyes of God, yes?" Naruto asked. Rikudo nodded again but said nothing more. Naruto thought about pressing on for more details but decided not to. He had more questions. "You said that you left Uchiha Madara, how?" "To answer that question, first we must explain the difference between you and the other chosen of Samsara." Naruto nodded, showing that he is listening. "We masqueraded as Tendo inside you because we saw a chance when you took over Uzumaki Naruto's body." Naruto winced but kept listening. "Inside other chosen of Samsara, we encounter them in a dream. We gave them dreams and we see how they react to it." "You mean, like the dreams I had?" "The dream began once he regained his memories and unlocked the Eye of Samsara." "Yes. If the chosen is unworthy, we will not show them that dream anymore and we will seal this world and ourselves away from them." "What exactly is this world?" He wondered that since a few days ago. "This is not the heaven realm. Nor is it part of any other realm. This is the main world inside the eyes of Samsara. The center of the cycle, so to speak." "The enlightenment?" Naruto asked, half joking, half serious. To his surprise, Rikudo nodded. "You may call it that. The goal of the chosen of Samsara is to reach this place and acquire the eyes of God." Naruto thought for a moment. "That does sounds appropriate. Reach the enlightenment to break free from the Samsara." "Indeed. You are the first one who did so since us. We are impressed." Naruto closed his eyes, processing what he knew. The eyes of God is the next step of the eyes of Samsara and he can obtain it by reaching enlightenment. Now for the second question, is the other chosen of Samsara his reincarnation too? Naruto asked. Rikudo nodded, "Indeed. All is part of the cycle." That meant the other chosen of Samsara is the same as him. "I wonder what will happen if I meet them." Two same soul cannot exist at the same time. What about Nagato's then? He also possess Rinnegan. Naruto asked. Rikudo thought for a moment. We are sure that you know of our sons? Rikudo asked. Yes, the Senju and Uchiha. Indeed, the Uzumaki is a clan with close ties with the Senju. It is no surprise for some of them to be part of Senju blood. We suspect that he possessed both Senju and Uchiha blood within him, causing him to manifest his own samsara eyes. So, you are saying that his Rinnegan is the natural result of Senju and Uchiha marry? Rikudo closed his eyes. Perhaps. We know nothing of the boy. Perhaps he is a direct descendant of one of the chosen of samsara. Naruto nodded. As for the third, Biju, we believe that you have seen it already. They are our family. However, it seems that humans have once again insulted our memory. Jinchuriki. Naruto muttered. That explained the hatred in Rikudo when he mentioned Jinchuriki long ago. He thought them and the ones who created them as humans who used his children as tools of war. War that took peace from the world. The war that the sage hates. Naruto supposed that it explained the abomination's fondness with the beasts. While Rikudo himself considered them as his children, he is someone who placed peace above anything. His ghetto is the opposite. It does not care about peace and would rather keep its family safe. While that answered some questions, he still have many questions about the eyes of God, though. Also there is one more question. Hitatsu no Kami. What is it? A god that watched over this land since ancient times. A god who wanted the world to worship it. We do not know. All we know is that a legend has been passed in the ancient times. A legend of a one-eyed god who slumber inside the avatar of God in the sky. Avatar of God. There is that too. What is that floating massive eye of God in the ancient sky? The moment we shattered the god's power, the marks on the avatar of God disappeared, forming the moon that you see today. Naruto nodded. So even the sage does not know Hitatsu no Kami's origin. I assume that your curiosity is sated. We would advise you to leave now. You will wake soon. Will you still be here next time I come? Will the sage disappear without telling him? The sage said nothing. Naruto sighed. If the sage wished to escape his suffering, Naruto would not interfere. I cannot change your mind. However, I want you to know that I believe in you. Rikudo stared at him in confusion. You believe in us? Naruto nodded. Yes. I can say this with absolute confidence. Your love for her, your desire for peace. All of them are real. I am glad. Even after I died, I know you can continue our goal. Our goal for a world of peace and order. Rikudo opened his mouth but no sound came out. This boy believed in him. He who tried to kill him. He who tried to use him. Why? Because I want to. In the end, we are the same. You, Nagato, all of us who hold the samsara are the same. We are seekers of peace. You are not alone. He is not alone. For how long does he wish to hear that? To know that someone is with him. Helping him to fulfill her dream. To know that all of his sacrifice is not wasted. To have someone acknowledge his suffering. Naruto bowed towards him and began to walk away. Just before he left, he turned towards the sage. I suppose, even God can cry. Naruto muttered as he disappeared. Naruto opened his eye and stared at the ceiling calmly. He had returned to his room. I wonder. He formed an ice in front of him and stared at it closely. His right eye is just a normal eye, his usual blue eye. He tried sending chakra to it. The effect was instantaneous. His blue eye became blank and the color became darker into purple. Slowly from the center of his eye, a circular line formed. It spread out, similar to a ripple on a water. As it reached a certain point, it left another ripple frozen in that place. Rinnegan. Naruto took off his eye patch and compared them. His Rinnegan's color is a little brighter than the one he received from Rikudo. However, they felt exactly the same. Yet, I should go train. Naruto muttered. That was mostly a lie. He is just curious about this new eye of his. When he reached his usual training ground, he opened his palm towards a tree. Shinra Tensei, the tree shook but did not fall as Naruto only placed a minimum amount of chakra to his technique. What he wanted to test is 1 second. He still possess 1 second penalty. Unlike Rikudo who is able to act instantly after using Tendo. so my eyes have yet to reach his level. Naruto sighed, time to train then. I should make sure my eyes can match his before the war really begin. While he was sure that he will not allow the vessels to be captured, especially his mother, he knew that he had to prepare for the worst. If the god truly revives then he have to fight it. It is a threat to all beings in this world. A threat to Yuya and his mother. Naruto sighed and started to strike the same tree with another Shinra Tensei. This will be a long night. Naruto winced as another tree fell to the ground. Rather than the penalty being reduced, my Shinra Tensei has gotten stronger instead. Fortunately, the power of Tendo affects one another. Therefore, by training Shinra Tensei, his Bansho Tenin, Shinra Bansho, Tensei, Chibaku Tensei have also become stronger. Is 1 second the limit? As he thought this, Naruto sensed a presence in the forest. This is Nagato. It can only be him as the power of Rinnegan clearly flared from the forest. But it is too weak. What could cause him to take such damage? He is not alone. Konan and several unidentified chakra were with him. They are approaching this place. Naruto waited calmly from where he stood, resting his chakra in preparation for a battle. Konan carried Nagato on her back as she ran through the Konoha forest. Her pursuers continued to follow her relentlessly. She growled in frustration. If she remembered correctly, Uzumaki Naruto's residence is located nearby. With nothing to lose, she moved towards it. He was the only one she knew that can help them in this situation. While she knew this, part of her asked, "What if he doesn't help us?" When she saw Uzumaki Naruto standing in the middle of a clearing, she prepared herself for the worst. Naruto saw Konan carrying Nagato who was bleeding all over his body. Did Tobi attack them? Konan-san, yes. When the woman warily nodded, he continued, "You can explain later. I will protect you for now." Konan gave an audible sigh of relief. She ran and laid Nagato under a tree behind Naruto. "May I ask who you are?" Naruto asked as he saw several figures appearing. "Namikaze Naruto, under the orders of the leader of Konoha, we demand you to surrender the criminals." Naruto sighed, "I ask you again, who are you?" The figures said nothing. "Those clothes and mask, Anbu?" "No, you said leader of Konoha. Why did you not say, Hokage, surrender the criminals? This is your last warning." Naruto raised an eyebrow. "Last warning? How confident. How amusing. Naruto-san. They are Danzo's men." Konan shouted. Naruto's lone blue eye grew cold. That certainly simplifies everything. Chunin Namikaze Naruto has defied orders. Proceeding to eliminate him, the figure said without any emotion, "Eliminate? Me? Fools." Naruto waved his hand and chains burst out from the ground. "Do you not realize where you are? You are within my territory." The chains stabbed the figures mercilessly, piercing their hearts, heads, stomachs. Naruto sighed, "One escaped, eh?" One of the figure exploded, revealing a log. No, another figure, this one familiar to Naruto, appeared. In his hand was the corpse of the last of Danzo's men. "Kakuzu of Akatsuki, I presume?" Naruto asked. Kakuzu nodded, keeping a cautious eyes on the boy. He had seen how Haiden was destroyed by him easily. It would not do to underestimate such opponent. "Konan-san, is he a hostile?" Konan nodded. Then, "Kakuzu-san, were you the one who killed Orochi?" He heard from TAYUYA that Orochi was killed by Haiden and Kakuzu, but he could not imagine Orochi being defeated by that scythe-swinging fool. Therefore, yes, Kakuzu nodded. He had quite a large bounty on his head. Too bad that those two took his body away. Naruto supposed that those two meant TAYUYA and Zabuza. He took off his eye patch and showed his eye to the man. The man's eyes widened. "Tensei," Naruto said calmly, and Kakuzu exploded. Pathetic, he was angry. Angry over the fact that Orochi was killed by a weakling. Angry because he cannot save his friend. He knew that Orochi was weakened, and yet, Naruto-san, he has 5 hearts. Each of them gives him 1 life and control over an element. Naruto smirked. Now that sounds interesting. Kakuzu stood back up. His eyes burned in anger. Katan, Tsukaku. Fire release, intelligent hard work. A burst of flame moved towards Naruto. Naruto sighed, boredom clear in his eyes. He thought of transforming his other eye but then decided not to. One is enough. Hino Kagetsuchi. A burst of fire greater than Kakuzu's absorbed the man's jutsu and killed him for the second time. This is worthless. Tensei, Kakuzu exploded again for the third time. Tensei, Naruto did not relent and Kakuzu exploded before he could stand. Tensei, when Naruto saw Kakuzu not moving again, he placed his eye patch back over his left eye. Not even fit to share the battlefield with me. When Nagato woke up and saw Uzumaki Naruto standing beside him, his mind tried to formulate a reason why the boy is here but failed. It seems that you are awake. I will inform Konan-san, Naruto stated as he walked away. Before he left Nagato's sight, he turned, your eye, no, never mind. Nagato looked around. It is a small room with a bed, a table and a drawer. It is unfamiliar to him. Where am I? Nagato wondered. He realized that his injuries were mostly healed though he is still a cripple. With nothing he can do, he waited for Naruto to return, hopefully with Konan. Nagato, you're awake. Konan immediately went towards him. Naruto watched them expressionlessly. I assume Tobi attacked you? Naruto asked. Nagato tried to remember. Tobi did ambush them. He was with the other members of Akatsuki. They destroyed Yahiko and, my eye, they took one of my eye. Naruto sighed, I suppose this is what they meant by karma. I wish I can kill you now, however, Tobi is our main priority. I need your assistance. Nagato laughed, I can't move and I am half blind. What am I supposed to do? I will ask Tsunade-sama to heal your leg. As for your eye, there is nothing I can do. Naruto walked away again. Wait, how will you convince her to help me? How did you explain my presence here? Did he inform the Hokage? Should he prepare for a battle? Worry not. Only my mother and Yuya knows of your presence here. Fu, Nanabai's Jinchuriki is away on a mission. As for Tsunade-sama, I will tell her the truth. Tsunade rubbed her temples tiredly. So, let me get this straight. You want me to help the leader of Akatsuki so he can help us in the war? Naruto nodded, former leader. Otherwise, your summary is accurate. Tsunade sighed, you do realize that he can betray us anytime, don't you? Worry not, I will kill him the moment he betray us. However, I assume you will not be helping us, then. Tsunade sighed again, take me to him. I am a medic nin. I will help those who need me. Besides, I know I can trust your judgment. For now, at least. Naruto nodded. When Tsunade was about to enter the room, Naruto stopped her. Tsunade-sama, do you know where they keep Tobirama-sama and Hashirama-sama's bodies? Naruto asked. Tsunade instantly became cautious. Why do you ask? I need to examine their bodies, Naruto answered calmly. I'm surprised you say that straight out. Then again, it's just like you. Naruto said nothing, waiting for her answer. Well, telling you doesn't really make a difference. You can find a small building near the Senju compound. So far, no one can get in as you need Mokutan to open the gate. Naruto nodded. Then he remembered Tenzo. I met an ANBU who can use Mokutan, though. He is part of Orochimaru's project to resurrect the dead bloodlines. We don't know why but his Mokutan can't open the gate, Tsunade told him. Naruto stood in front of a gate covered with seals. Mokutan, he formed water and earth chakra and combined them into Mokutan effortlessly. Then he sent a wood spike towards the gate and it opened without much resistance. Maybe it has to be a natural Mokutan. He muttered as he entered the building. Inside it, he found a stair leading towards the underground. Naruto followed the stairs and reached a room with two boxes. Naruto bowed towards them and opened them. He froze. While he found Senju Tobirama's body easily, Hashirama's box is empty. How? Naruto asked himself. Did someone else manage to open the gate? However, Tsunade-sama claims that only Mokutan can open it. He decided to think about it later and sealed Tobirama's body inside a scroll with the word human. He left the graves and exited the building. He sighed as he saw several figures around him. Namikaze Naruto, by the order of Danzo-sama, you are to surrender everything you have taken from the catacomb. Naruto entertained the thought of killing them for a moment but decided not to. "Take me to him," he told them. "I have an answer to his question," he said, referring to the self-sacrifice question that Danzo gave him. The figures froze and began to talk to a device. It seems that Danzo sent them orders using that device. I wonder how he will react to my words. Come, they disappeared. Naruto let out a small chuckle as he followed them. When they reached an abandoned building, Naruto looked around. He saw Danzo standing with two shinobi on his side. "What is your answer then, Namikaze Naruto?" Danzo questioned. "The answer is, I do not care," Naruto declared calmly. Danzo's eye narrowed. "I am not a shinobi. I have existed before shinobi. I will exist after it." Danzo gazed at him with a cold eye. "With that declaration, it seems that my suspicion is correct. You are a threat to Konohagakure." Naruto chuckled. "You just realized that now? Even Itachi-sama knew that long ago." Itachi, Danzo spat the name like a curse, "is nothing more than a foolish boy from a cursed clan. Soon I will replace him as the leader of this village and I will transform it into the strongest village as it deserves." Naruto's eyebrow rose. That is the reason why Danzo is doing all of this. Patriotism? He could not understand that. He could care less about what happened to this village. "It seems that you and I are fundamentally different. I have no more words for you. I need you to disappear now, Danzo-san." Shinra Bansho. Naruto's right eye transformed for a moment as he threw a small sphere towards the Patriot. The building instantly fell, pulled by the gravity towards the sphere. The samsara in his right eye disappeared as he looked around. "I am surprised, how did you survive, Danzo-san?" Naruto asked. Danzo said nothing but he took off the bandage on his hand, revealing 10 Sharingan eyes. One of them slowly closes. "I see. Izanagi, the technique that Tobi used to survive Hachiman. 1 Izanagi for each eye. That meant 9 left. Then again, he still have yet to show his right eye. I suppose that is a Sharingan too, one of them is Sensei's." Naruto muttered. Danzo began to attack him with wind jutsus. Naruto took off his eye patch and pointed towards Danzo. Shinitsu Hiko, the divine wind overwhelmed Danzo's and moved towards him. 8 left. Naruto muttered. However, he has no time for this. He could feel chakra coming from many directions. Perhaps Anbu coming to investigate the explosion. "I need something that can kill him permanently." Naruto wondered what he could do. "Use me, of course." Ninjendo yelled from inside him. "Indeed." Naruto summoned his chakra once more. Shinitsu Hiko, he summoned the wind once more. Then, using the wind to obscure Danzo's vision, he moved behind the man and grabbed his head while morphing his right eye into Rikudo's samsara. While his Ninjendo cannot take Danzo's soul instantly, he knew that Rikudo's could, and so, the moment his right eye finished transforming, the man was about to shout the technique name but stopped. Naruto took his hand off the man's head. In his hand was a small burning sphere. Hitodama, Hitodama, a being that is considered a wandering soul of a deceased person. He crushed the soul. Naruto sealed Danzo's body inside a blank scroll. "I can use one of the Sharingan for Nagato," Naruto thought as he left the place. Chapter 33 The Eyes of God. Naruto laid on his bed after he handed the scroll containing Danzo's body to Konan. Even though the sun has just risen, he wanted to return back to sleep. The past few hours had been tiring for him, mentally. I wonder what will Nagato do? Will he use the Sharingan Danzo stole? Will he throw it away? I am rather curious to see what he can do with the Sharingan. Naruto muttered. I guess I will go back to sleep. Greetings, son of man, Rikudo stated as he appeared in front of him. Naruto tried to speak but his mouth would not move. Confused, he looked around. He was floating in front of the Eye of God in Rikudo's world. There is no need to be anxious. We summoned you to inform you that we are ready to begin the rite, right? Naruto wanted to ask. The rite of awakening which will release the seal in your eyes, thereby transforming them into the eyes of God. Naruto's eyes opened wide. This rite will take place for approximately 1 day. Within that duration, your eyes will be useless. Is that acceptable? Naruto thought for a moment. As far as he knew, he had no plans that would require samsara. Besides, he was confident in his abilities even without the eyes. He nodded. Rikudo smiled. Let us begin the rite. Naruto looked towards the eye of God floating in front of him. He saw the tomo at the top edge began glowing red. He closed his eyes. When Naruto woke up, he realized that it was already afternoon. Well, it seems that I am quite tired. Of course he was. With all he had to do today, he was surprised he woke up this early. The rite of awakening, huh? Naruto asked himself. Rikudo said that my eyes is useless for now. Naruto summoned an ice mirror and took off his eye patch. Naruto raised an eyebrow. The ripple pattern in the samsara is gone. What is left is simply a blank purple eyes with black pupil. His right eye too, had transformed into eyes similar to his right. Let us hope I do not need them today. Unfortunately for Naruto, fate does not share his sentiments. What should I do now? Wait, now that he thought about it, what will happen if Yuya met Nagato? She was killed by him after all. Naruto dashed out of his bed, worried for his girlfriend. Before he left the room, he cast a genjutsu over his eyes to hide how they have changed. He could sense Nagato, Konan and Yuya at the dining room. He opened the door while shouting, Yuya, and instantly fell to the ground. Ah, Ruto. This girlfriend of your uncle really is a good cook, she exclaimed as she ate the foods on the table. Girlfriend? Uncle? What happened while he was sleeping? Naruto-san, Nagato nodded. While you are sleeping, Konan and I met with the Hokage. The Hokage? Itachi-sama. We talked with him about our circumstances and made a deal. A deal? Between Itachi-sama and Nagato, we will be working together for a while. Uzumaki Nagato of the Akatsuki, at your service. Also, our cover story is that I am your uncle. Also, I told the Hokage that I was the one who killed Danzo. He just raised an eyebrow and ignored it. Ha! Naruto asked, tilting his head to the side. Konan smiled. What he means, Naruto-san, is that Nagato and I are officially listed as members of the allied shinobi force. However, to explain our presence, the Hokage spread out story that Nagato-san is your mother's brother. In addition, he took the blame for killing Danzo. Ha, usually, nothing could surprise Naruto. But having the former leader of Akatsuki being accepted to the alliance that is fighting against it would do that. Nagato laughed. We also talked with TAYUYA-san here. She and Konan seems to have good compatibility. Is that so? Naruto could feel the world spinning around him. Did he hallucinate after fighting against Geto? This is completely different from how he imagined it would be. Also, I have apologized for. Nagato trailed off. TAYUYA laughed. Your uncle here apologized for killing me. While that girlfriend of his smacked him around every time he said something inappropriate. He is quite whipped, huh? Konan smiled. You too, TAYUYA-san. Naruto-san here really treasures you. I am sure that he will do anything as long as you order him to. TAYUYA smirked. Now that might be a good idea. Nagato-san, shall we train? Naruto asked. While his brain is still processing what happened, he knew that his priority is to escape from the girl. Of course. I wish to test this eye you have given me. Only now did Naruto realize that Nagato is wearing the same eye patch as he did a few moments ago. By the way, Ruto, what's with that genjutsu? TAYUYA asked. Well, actually. Naruto's mind raced, trying to find a way to explain his changed eyes. My eyes are evolving, he said vaguely. Evolving? Nagato asked, disbelief clear in his eyes. Naruto dispelled the genjutsu and showed them his blank samsara eyes. What's with the blank eyes? Nagato asked. While my eyes are evolving, I cannot use it. This is the result, Naruto told them. So you cannot use Rinnegan for now? Konan asked. Naruto nodded. The problem is that I cannot reveal them to anyone. Before I used an eye patch but now with both eyes changed. Then what are you going to do? TAYUYA asked. Your genjutsu sucks, she said bluntly. Naruto winced. I do not want to do this but. The three leaned in, interested in his plan. I will buy us sunglasses. The three laughed, thinking that he was joking. I am serious. The three stopped laughing. The next day, Itachi summoned several shinobi to his office. I see that you are all here. Itachi looked towards each of them. Jiraiya of the Sannin, Tsunade of the Sannin, Copy Ninja Kakashi, Azure Beast Guy, Akatsuki leader Nagato and Naruto-kun, what are you wearing? The other shinobi except Nagato, who was too busy holding his laugh, and Guy looked towards Naruto strangely. Guy instead gave a thumbs up and a smile. Woh sh. Naruto-kun's flame of youth has burned brightly to the extent where he needs those sunglasses to keep his youthful flame down. Silence, Guy. Naruto-kun, your answer. Itachi asked again. Naruto swallowed his pride and answered, Itachi-sama, Guy-san was not mistaken. Everyone there blinked, even Guy. Well, everyone except Nagato, who fell to the floor laughing, that is. After the shinobi have recovered, especially Nagato, who is still trying to hold his laughter, Itachi started to speak. I called you here to inform you of your mission in the upcoming war. They all nodded. Today, Jiraiya-sama, Nagato-san and Naruto-kun will scout the area where Hoshigaki Kisame was sighted. For now you are to act as scouts. In the war, the three of you will join the main assault forces. Jiraiya and Nagato looked at each other. They knew that confrontation between them is inevitable. Tsunade-sama, please prepare for any medical kits we may need. Tsunade nodded. Kakashi-san, Guy-san, the two of you will gather all shinobi. I will inform them of the incoming war. Kakashi and Guy nodded. Also, Naruto-kun, stay. I need to speak with you about your activities this morning. Naruto narrowed his eyes. You killed Danzo, a statement, not a question. Naruto nodded, yes. Itachi sighed, not only that, I forbid you from training and yet you did so. Naruto raised an eyebrow, I trained within Uzumaki clan territory. Therefore, it is not the village's business. I suppose you are correct. Let us be blunt, Itachi-sama. You have never expected us to follow that order. Itachi nodded, indeed. However, I needed to keep up appearance of a strong Hokage in front of the other Kage. As for you killing Danzo, fortunately your uncle has graciously took the blame for you. Is that all? Naruto asked. Your eyes. What is happening to them? He should have known. He doubted he could trick Itachi. They are evolving. That is all I know. Naruto bowed and left the room. Itachi sighed, evolving, huh? He took out the scroll Naruto handed him 3 years ago. Shursui, it seems that I need your help once again. When Naruto stepped out of the tower, he saw Jiraiya and Nagato glaring at each other. May I assume that you two will not be able to work together? Naruto asked. Nagato scoffed, I have no wish to be associated with this man who abandoned Yahiko to die. I told you. I have to return to Konoha. Konoha is in a dangerous situation that time with the war with other villages. Nagato glared at Jiraiya with a lone furious eye. And yet, even after the war ended, you didn't come to us. Jiraiya sighed, I thought you three died. The hideout was empty. Naruto supposed that the hideout was the place where Nagato and his friends lived. You should have tried. If you did, perhaps Yahiko. Nagato trailed off. I'm sorry Nagato. Jiraiya bowed. Forgive me for interrupting. But we have a mission, Naruto said. Jiraiya nodded, you're right. Nagato, Conan is with you, right? I'll talk with you too after the mission. Nagato nodded, don't die before that. Conan will want to speak with you. Jiraiya grinned, of course. No girl can resist this Jiraiya-sama's charm. I wonder how beautiful she has become. Jiraiya began to giggle pervertedly. You touch her, you die, Nagato threatened. Jiraiya laughed. Jiraiya-sama, Jiraiya looked at Naruto questioningly. You touch Yuya, I will castrate you. Jiraiya laughed harder. As they reached the place where Kisame was sighted, Naruto stopped. Jiraiya-sama, Nagato-san, I sense Hoshigaki and 3 other chakra. One is Yakushi Kabuto but it feels twisted while the other is unknown. Jiraiya thought for a moment. Kabuto is the traitor who betrayed Orochimaru and joined Akatsuki, right? I want to speak with him. Naruto nodded, then, you and Nagato-san will ambush Yakushi and the unknown. I will engage Hoshigaki. Nagato raised an eyebrow, why do you want to meet Kisame, Naruto-san? He challenged me 3 years ago. I promised to fight him one-on-one. Nagato's eye showed a trace of worry. Will you be alright with your eye's condition? Jiraiya seemed confused. What condition? I will explain later, Jiraiya-sama. Short answer is that my eyes are evolving. Naruto left before Jiraiya could process his answer. Hello there, Kisame-san. Naruto bowed as he stepped into a clearing. Hoshigaki Kisame grinned, showing his sharp teeth. Hello, Naruto-san. Is it time? Only one of us can walk away from this place, Naruto declared. Kisame laughed, that's what I want. Bring it on. Naruto narrowed his eyes. Hoshigaki Kisame is his worst opponent. Samahata eats chakra. Kisame himself has more chakra than him. Something that few could accomplish. What make it worse is his eyes. With his eyes like this, he could not use any abilities of the Samsara eyes. Naruto took out a kunai and enhanced it with his wind. He gripped it with his right hand. He dashed towards Kisame. Kisame grinned and swung Samahata towards him. Using his left hand, he took out another kunai and used it to defend against Samahata. He threw the wind-covered kunai towards Kisame's eyes. Kisame tilted his head to the right, avoiding the kunai. Then the shark man swung Samahata with all of his might, breaking Naruto's kunai. Naruto ducked and avoided Samahata, but he knew that Kisame's assault is not over yet. Katan. Before Kisame swung Samahata again, he punched Kisame with fire-covered fist. Kisame was pushed back a few feet away. He then formed a series of hand seals. Suetun, Suikoden. Water release, water shark bullet. A shark made of water moved towards Naruto. Naruto countered, Futon, Kunai Kage Bunshin. The kunai destroyed the shark bombs before they came close. Few kunais that are targeted to Kisame was deflected by Samahata. In close range, he is too strong. In long range, he will stop my attacks with Samahata. How annoying. This person is the worst opponent for him who relied on techniques. No matter how much he tried to plan, all of his simulation ended with his defeat. No choice then. I have to use Yaoyorozu no Kami. If he used the Myriad God's weaker version, he should be able to harm Kisame even if he defended using Samahata. Doton, Naruto muttered. Kisame saw Naruto forming an earth armor on his hand and watched curiously. Suetun, Futon, as water covered his arm and began flowing, Naruto watched Kisame with wary eyes. Then he realized that Kisame had no intention to attack him. He wants to see my technique. Naruto thought as he saw Kisame waiting for his attack. Then I will show it to him. Naruto ran towards Kisame, preparing himself for a confrontation with Samahata. Kisame's grin widened and he prepared to swing Samahata. Raitun. Katan. Naruto swung his arm, punching Samahata with the weaker form of the 8 million gods. An explosion occurred and he was blown away, sent skidding on the ground. Too weak, Naruto realized. Samahata absorbed most of the chakra. Naruto tried to see the result of his technique but froze as Samahata was stabbed near his head. Kisame stood near him, his cloak burnt but otherwise, there were no other damages. That was a nice technique, kid. Samahata seems to like it, Kisame said, still grinning. Naruto saw Samahata slowly transforming as the bandages around it were released, revealing a creature with sharp scales similar to a shark. Its mouth opened. It seemed to vibrate, seeking to devour him. Kisame pulled Samahata from the ground and raised it, preparing to crush Naruto's head. Too bad, you relied too much on your techniques, Kisame sighed. It's been nice knowing you, kid. With those last words, Kisame swung. Naruto closed his eyes, accepting his death. But death never came. Naruto opened his eyes and saw Kisame being stabbed by a black sword. So you did join Konoha after all, Pain-sama. Kisame said as he fell to the ground, dead. Naruto saw Nagato standing near him. It seems that my suspicion is correct. Without your eyes, Kisame is the worst opponent for you. Naruto said nothing. He could not deny that. Even with the 5 elements under his control, he still lost against Kisame and Samahata. The reason was simple, his chakra was eaten by Samahata. It was quite a blow to his pride. Naruto resolved to find a way to eliminate his weak point one day. Let's go. Jiraiya-sensei is waiting. Wait, Naruto stopped Nagato and sealed Kisame's body and Samehada inside a scroll with the word, animal. Nagato knew what he intended to do but did not say anything as they walked towards Jiraiya. I guess, I never did get a chance to talk with him, Naruto thought, remembering Kisame's offer from 3 years prior. When Naruto and Nagato reached Jiraiya, they saw Jiraiya standing over 2 dead bodies. Naruto recognized one of them. Kagaya Kimimaro. Naruto muttered. The other was a boy with spiky orange hair. Maybe Yuya knew him, he thought as he saw a Sound Village's symbol on the boy's clothes. Jiraiya-sensei, what happened here? Nagato asked. That Kabuto guy used some kind of seal to make those 2 berserk. Then he sent them to fight me while he escaped. Jiraiya told his 2 students. A seal? Naruto asked. Yes, I recognize them as a seal Orochimaru made to push a shinobi's body beyond their limits. But Orochimaru stopped researching them long time ago. Seems like Kabuto continued his research. Naruto examined the 2 bodies as Jiraiya talked. Jiraiya-sensei, do you know why they are here? Nagato asked. Jiraiya shook his head, I don't know. Itachi did said that a man matching Kabuto's description was sighted all over the world. The 3 went silent as they processed the information. Jiraiya-sama, may I have the bodies? Naruto asked. What for? Jiraiya asked, confused by his student's sudden interest. Naruto quickly made a lie, I am sure TAYUYA will want to see them. Kimimaro was one of her comrades, yes. Jiraiya thought about it and nodded. Sure, I already made a copy of the seal anyway. Naruto sealed the bodies to the last 2 scrolls he had. With this, all 5 has their bodies. The remaining one is Geto. By the way, Naruto, how's your fight with Kisame? Jiraiya asked. Nagato smirked, he lost. Badly. I had to save him from being killed. Naruto sighed, I have a feeling that you will never allow me to forget it. Nagato laughed, of course I won't. After they returned to Konoha, Jiraiya went to the Hokage Tower with Nagato to give their reports while Naruto returned to his house to rest. It was already evening when he reached his house. Today is a tiring day. However, he managed to acquire Chikashodo, Gakido and Jigakudo's bodies. All that is left is to find a body for Geto. Before thinking about that, why don't you challenge my trial? Geto asked as she materialized upside down above him. I am tired Geto. Battling Rikudo aside, I fought 2 Akatsuki members and a man who stole 11 Sharingan, 2 of which you defeated effortlessly, and the other defeated you just as effortlessly, Geto countered. Come on, fight me now, Tendo. You do realize that we are unable to use our eyes for now, yes. While he did not wish to be petty, part of him blamed his defeat against Kisame because he cannot use his eyes. Don't worry about it. Just come to my realm. You seems confident. I assume you have a secret plan, Naruto commented as he scanned her. She does not seem to be much different but Naruto knew better than to underestimate her. Have you forgotten? I am your mirror, Geto smirked and disappeared. Naruto stared at the ceiling where she was a moment ago. Very well, Geto. I accept your challenge. Greetings, son of man. Rikudo nodded to him as a greeting. Rikudo. Naruto realized that he could talk this time. What is it? We are here to tell you that your eyes is ready. The rite is complete. It is? Naruto blinked. I thought you said it will take 1 day. We managed to hasten the process. Rikudo formed a mirror and showed his reflection to him. I do not see any difference. The Samsara eyes returned but he did not see the 9 tomo that should be there. Do you remember the memory we showed you? Of our battle against the god? It was fragmented deliberately. We sealed that part of our memory before but now we will release it. It contains everything you need to understand the eyes. We wish you the best of luck, chosen of Samsara. Rikudo disappeared. Remember this, son of man, the moment you transform your eyes, there is no turning back. Once you have become a god, you cannot return to Samsara. And Uzumaki Naruto remembered. He remembered the 9. The contract. Eyes of God, huh? How appropriate. Naruto appeared in a gray world. A world unfamiliar to him. Now that is strange. I thought I tried to move to the outer realm. Nah, you're right. This is my new outer realm, Geto told him as she materialized in front of him with a smirk. A new outer realm? Naruto asked. He was confused, why would she need a new world? He took off his eye patch and morphed his other eye to scan the world with the Samsara eyes. You know, Tendo, you should have defeated me first before fighting Rakuto. Especially with what happened moments ago. Naruto raised an eyebrow. What did she meant? What difference does the order make? After he defeated Rakuto, he gained Rakuto's eye. Moments ago he gained. Wait, Naruto's eyes flew wide open in realization. Seems like you've realized it, she smirked. Your right is my left. Your left is my right. What is true for you is false for me. What is false for you is true for me. Slowly Geto's left eye began to change color. It became darker and the presence Naruto felt from her became more intense. I am you who is not you. Shall we begin again? Tell me, Tendo. If you see a mirror within a mirror, do you see yourself? Or do you see death? Naruto should have known. Normally, a path can only use their own techniques inside the soul. However, as you have gained another samsara, a samsara that is able to break the rules inside our soul, a change occurred, Geto continued Naruto. Right now, I possess our samsara in my left eye and Rakuto's samsara in my right eye, while I possess our samsara in my right eye and Rakuto's in my left. Moments ago, I acquired the eyes, Naruto began. I who is you but not you received the eyes. Naruto narrowed his eyes. Then it seems that this battle will be difficult. Geto's realm sealed all of his techniques away. It is useless to fight her in it. Why do you think I've created this world? In this world only Tendo and Geto may exist. You or I, we will see who is stronger now. Let's fight. With full power. No holding back. Only one of us can come out victorious today. Naruto calmly focused his chakra, preparing for a difficult battle. Of course, since you owe me for showing you mercy last time, I will set a condition for this battle, Geto declared. Condition? Naruto asked. It is simple. If I win, you will have to come here every day. Naruto waited for more but blinked as he noticed that Geto already stopped speaking. That is it? Naruto asked. No, break up with your girlfriend, or, you have to stay forever with me. Yes, that's it. I won't ask you to leave your girl. I will win you fairly, by making you love me. I won't accept getting you by force. Now that was unlike what Naruto read in books. Usually they will use, all fair in love and war, logic but Geto seemed to believe that she have to win his heart fairly. Naruto laughed, amused by his sister. You really are cute, Geto. Geto blushed. Well, what does that supposed to mean? He smirked. There is no other meaning. Let us fight, sister. I want to see how much stronger you have become. Let's go, Tendo. Geto summoned her chains and they exploded immediately. Revealing Zhaogongan, I won't hold back. I will go full force from the start. Right, Zhao? The celestial being roared its approval. Then it formed a Vajra in its hand. Well, this will be painful. Naruto muttered. Vajra, Mahavirakkana. The divine thunder fell from the heaven, striking the empty space that Naruto made. Geto grinned. Naruto raised an eyebrow as Geto raised a hand to the sky. A shield I cannot break, does not exist. Indra, she shouted and more divine thunders fell. It is useless, Geto. This barrier cannot be pierced by any attacks, Naruto stated. His eyes widened as he saw a thunder breaking through the empty space. Okunanushi, while weakened inside the outer realm, it should be enough for him to survive. An earth shield formed above him and absorbed most of the impact. How? Naruto asked. His defense should be absolute. Have you forgotten who I am? Geto asked with a smirk. What you make, I can unmake. Naruto narrowed his eyes but then smirked. Does that not goes both ways, sister? Geto blinked. Then she turned in panic. Zhaogongan exploded. Shinra Bansho, Naruto stated calmly as smoke came out from his hand. Damn it. Zhaogongan. He who demands surrender returned to the battlefield. Burning brighter than before. She summoned that thing so quickly. Naruto muttered. Tenjo Tenge. A meteor formed in the sky and moved towards the giant. Don't think I'll let you hurt him so easily. Akshobhya, a massive barrier formed around Zhaogongan and Geto, deflecting the meteor. Akshobhya, the defense form. A barrier that could deflect any attack. Vajra, the attack form. A thunderbolt that could break through any shield. A contradiction, and yet, they coexist. Because she is an outer being. A being that defies common sense. How am I supposed to win against that? Naruto asked himself. Vajra. Geto shouted, breaking Naruto from his thought. Naruto jumped out of the way as the thunderbolt struck where he stood moments ago. You won't get away, Yomi. Chains surrounded Naruto and he narrowed his eyes. Shinra Tensei, he sent the chains scattering away. If I attack, she will just use Akshobhya again. The only way to win is to break it. How? His strongest technique, Yaoyorozu no Kami, is a technique made of Samsara's natural ability, the mastery over elements. It is useless in the outer realm. His weakened Okuninushi proved that. Is there any technique he can use? Then a memory came to him. Not his. It was the sage's. This is. Naruto muttered as he analyzed the memory. I can win with this, but should he use it this soon? Using a technique of the 9 would permanently transform his eyes. There is no turning back, but I do not want to lose. Geto wanted him to fight with his full strength. There is no reason to hold back. Even if losing is not a problem, holding back would insult his sister who fought with her full strength. There is no need to hesitate. O sun, shining in the heaven. Geto's eyes widened hearing him chant. It seemed that she also regained that memory. She dispelled Zhaogongan. O moon, lord of the night. Naruto's eyes narrowed. It seemed that she decided to challenge him with that eyes too. Slowly their eyes changed. Tomo began to form on their eyes. 3 at the center, 3 outside it, 3 near the edges. Bless this world with your light. Illuminate the darkness. Chase away the shadows. The 2 paths chanted their incantations. As they reached the end of their second line, one of their Tomo burns red. For Naruto it was the one located at the top edge. For Geto it was the one located at the right edge. Vanquish my enemies. Burn them. Obliterate them. Be pulverized. Be crushed. Be annihilated. I summon thee. They both shouted. Amaterasu Amikami, the great imperial goddess, descended from her heaven as a pure light. Tsukuyami no Mikoto, the reader of moon, formed a black sphere reminiscent of a lunar eclipse. Brother and sister met each other in battle. The sun met the moon and the world was filled with light. Naruto sighed as he felt 2 of the 9 disappearing. The eyes of God allows us to summon 9 gods and plead their assistance. Naruto muttered as he scanned the memories Rikudo gave. However, there is a limitation to it, Geto said as she continued Naruto's words. For the 3 noble children at the edge, 1 summon for a day. For the 2 higher beings and the star of evil at the middle, 1 summon for a month. For the highest ones at the center, 1 summon for a year. I cannot believe we wasted 2 for our battle. Naruto sighed. Even though it would return to him tomorrow, summoning 2 gods for their battle is. To add, once you made a contract with the 9, it is for life. Permanently changing our eyes into the eyes of God. Hiding this will be annoying. Naruto muttered. Geto smirked. It doesn't matter, right? You plan to reveal that in the war. After all, it was supposed to be a shocking revelation, increasing people's belief that I am the second coming of the Rikudo Sennin, therefore moving my plan closer to completion. Well, no use in talking what if, yes. We'll have to make do with what we have. Naruto chuckled. You really are selfish, little sister. Geto blushed. I'm not selfish. And I'm your twin. Not your little sister. Naruto laughed. Geto pouted at him but then joined his laughter. After they calmed down, Naruto asked, so sister, who won? Geto smiled. I think we can consider that as a draw. Naruto smiled back. Then I propose this. You will help me when I need you and in exchange I will keep you company every time I am asleep. Geto nodded, smiling brightly. Sure, it's a deal. Naruto yawned and laid on the ground. I am tired. Should we rest? Geto laid beside him and hugged him. Geto, yes. Geto asked innocently. I am not your teddy bear, but you are my big brother, right? I seem to recall you claiming that you are not little. That is that, this is this. Naruto chuckled, sleep well, sister. Good night, Tendo. Chapter 34 The price a god must pay. Uzumaki Naruto blankly stared at the sight around him. TAYUYA stood beside him with eyes full of awe. Shinobi from various villages, various countries took off their villages' forehead protectors and replaced it with the shinobi armies. Naruto saw the man standing in front of him giving his Tsunade's forehead protector to the jonin standing behind a desk and received a forehead protector with the word shinobi in return. He did not. He simply took off his forehead protector and handed it to the jonin, then he left without taking the other protector. TAYUYA blinked seeing him did that and followed him while taking her new forehead protector. You are still wearing that ridiculous eyeglasses? Nagato asked as he walked towards him. Naruto saw the shinobi forehead protector in Nagato's hand and sighed, this is useless. What do you mean? Nagato asked. This war is useless, Naruto declared. A few people turned towards him hearing his declaration. That's why I ask, what do you mean? Nagato asked again. Naruto said nothing and walked away, grabbing TAYUYA's hand as he did so. Naruto saw the Jinchuriki gathering together. His mother noticed him and called him, Sochi. Come here, she waved to him. Naruto walked and bowed to the Jinchuriki. We meet again, Naruto stated. Hello there, TAYUYA waved. Then she glared at Yujito who smirked at her. You seem depressed, Naruto-san, Fu said in a worried tone. Naruto let out a hollow chuckle, perhaps. Kushina gazed at him with a worried eyes. Son, are you alright? She moved to touch Naruto but Naruto held up his hand. I am fine. Just, fine, Naruto told her. He bowed and left them, TAYUYA following behind him. Ruto, why have you been acting so strange today? TAYUYA asked as she and Naruto stood on a cliff. Naruto sighed. Yuya, look there. Naruto pointed towards the gathering of shinobi below them. TAYUYA followed his finger and saw the people. That's the shinobi army, right? What of it? Is that what you see? Naruto asked. She blinked. What do you mean? I see a gathering of fools. I can see overconfidence in them. I can see how they believe that they would win this war easily. Our enemies are just 3 men. If I can kill them, I will get some recognition. That is what they believe. TAYUYA blinked. Really? I think most people won't think that way. Naruto laughed. TAYUYA did not like how he sounded. It is not a mocking laugh but she could see that Naruto was truly amused by her words. You have such faith in them. In this gathering of fools, you are the only light I have. Never change, Yuya, Naruto told her. TAYUYA's confusion grew. What is with Naruto's sudden change in attitude? It has to do with your eyes, right? She asked. Naruto told her before they left to the gathering place for shinobi army. My eyes have transformed fully, Naruto told her. Nagato and Konan. Really? TAYUYA asked in astonishment. Can we see it? Naruto nodded and showed the 3 his eyes of God. It's like a Rinnegan with 9 Sharingan Tomo. Konan commented. What does those eyes do? Nagato asked. Naruto tried to recall the memory Rakudo gave him. First, it removes the penalty of Tendo. Nagato's eyes widened. That is very useful. The limitation Tendo had is one of its few weaknesses. With it removed, its overall power grow considerably. Second, it amplifies the path's power, not really but he had to explain the jump in power Ninjendo, Gakido and Jigakudo had compared to the time he fought Nagato. He could not say, I have 2 Rinnegan, one from myself, the other from our ancestor. It increases my path's power. Third, it gives me 9 contracts. Contracts? TAYUYA asked curiously. 9 techniques I can use but with limits. 3 I can use only once a day. 3 I can use once per a month. 3 I can use only once per year. Nagato seemed interested. A once-in-a-year technique? 3 of them? I wonder how powerful they are. Naruto thought about answering, beyond your imagination. They are the ones who defeated Aim no Hitatsu no Kami after all. But decided not to. Explaining it will be troublesome. Then Naruto blinked. He looked at the 3 closely as if he is inspecting them. Then he sighed, I see. This does explain his attitude towards humans. Naruto muttered. TAYUYA blinked, confused by his words. Naruto smiled hearing her guess. The power of this eyes is beyond imagination. However, the price it possesses is of equal measure. He took off his eyeglasses. I could limit what I see with these but without it. He trailed off. TAYUYA stared at the eyes. Naruto froze for a moment but then relaxed. What is the price? She asked. When I see their eyes, I am able to see the hearts within humans, Naruto told her as he walked closer towards her. TAYUYA raised an eyebrow, so you can read minds? Naruto laughed, no, nothing like that. I am simply able to see the emotions within them. Greed, pride, hate, anger, lust, love, envy, happiness, pity, all of them and more. TAYUYA wondered what would it feels like. Seeing the hearts of human beings. Seeing them for what they are. Then she realized that Naruto's face and hers was mere inches between each other. Naruto? She asked, confused. She saw Naruto's face. It is filled with love but she could sense something dangerous inside him. This is why he called her, his salvation. Naruto said as he hugged her. To see a lone light, shining through this hellish world. To have a pure being within your grasp. Naruto muttered in daze. Naruto? She asked again. Scared by his attitude, Naruto blinked. Are you scared of me, Yuya? He asked. TAYUYA nodded, you seem different. She said. Then she remembered what Naruto said and looked away from his eyes. Naruto seemed to snap out of it and put his eyeglasses back on. I am sorry. Naruto muttered. It's alright, TAYUYA said as she saw Naruto looking away from her. They kept silent for a moment. Then Naruto began to speak. It is difficult. TAYUYA turned towards him in surprise. When we were at that place, among the gathering of people, I can see their hearts. Their darkness. I can see how sinful, how human they were and it shook me. I began to wonder. Why should I fight for them? For these wicked beings. Naruto sighed as he looked towards the shinobi army below them. Then I saw Nagato. His heart is full of suffering and yet he still strive for peace. I was glad to see it but then I saw him carrying the protector. TAYUYA blinked, what's wrong with it? It is a symbol that we have to fight with them. With those beings as our ally. I began to consider this war, this alliance as worthless. Useless. Meaningless. Naruto closed his eyes and hung his head. Why should I risk my life for their sake? Why should you risk your life? TAYUYA grabbed his hand, showing that she is with him. Naruto smiled but the smile disappeared as he continued, then I saw the Jinchuriki. I saw, mother. TAYUYA remembered him preventing Kushina from touching him. That was unlike Naruto. The moment I met mother's eyes, I see fear in her. It is small but it is there. I can see how she, deep inside her, feared any interactions with humans. As I saw the others, I see the same within all of them. I asked myself again. Should I fight for people who caused this fear? TAYUYA could not imagine how that must have felt. Learning that your own mother feared you even after living with you for so long. I ran away then. Dragging you with me. Throughout all of this, I always avoided your eyes. I do not want to see what is inside you. I am afraid that it would cause me to hate you, to despise you, but he did not. TAYUYA realized. Instead he became more obsessed with her. However, when you confronted me about my eyes, I decided to gather my courage and met your eyes. Naruto smiled happily. I am happy. I see your worry for me, your love for me. Seeing your purity made me lose my control. TAYUYA kept quiet. Naruto now have completely lost his faith in humanity. He did not believe them to be worth fighting for. That is unlike Naruto she knew, Naruto she loved. Naruto, look at me. Naruto shook his head. Seeing him refusing, she grabbed his face and forced him to look at her eyes. She thought about her hatred towards Kabuto for betraying their village, her fear and desire for vengeance towards Nagato for killing her. Naruto began to shake. Stop, Yuya. He muttered. She knew that he was hurting but she knew that he needed this. Finally, she thought of her dislike and disgust towards him when they first met. She thought about how she hated him. "Stop!" Naruto shouted. Seeing her hatred towards him, he could feel his heart breaking. Tears began to run down from his eyes. Tayuya smiled. "You see? Even I have those emotions. Those dark emotions you hate. I hated you before, but now I love you. You can't judge them simply by you see. Those eyes of you are not omnipotent. The world they showed you is not complete. There are more beautiful things out there." She told him as she hugged him, resting his head on her chest. Naruto sobbed as he hugged her back, muttering her name all the while. When Nagato saw Naruto and Tayuya walking around, he approached them. He noted that Naruto discarded his eyeglasses. Many people looked at his eyes in confusion and curiosity. However, none of them approached him as they knew that there are many lesser-known dojutsu in the land and they dismissed Naruto's eyes as one of them. "Naruto-san, what did you mean by this war is useless?" he asked. Naruto met his eye and flinched. Nagato was confused. His confusion grew when Tayuya hugged Naruto and muttered words of encouragement to his ears. Naruto looked towards him and bowed. "No, it was my mistake, I apologize." Nagato blinked in confusion as Naruto and Tayuya began to walk away. "What happened to him? Come on, Ruto, you have to do this." Tayuya said to him as she tried to drag him towards his mother. "Yuya, I am already having problem walking through the army. I do not think I can do this." Naruto said to her. "Trust your mother, speak with her and see her heart clearly." Tayuya firmly told him as she slowly dragged him towards the Jinchuriki. "Naruto," Gaara nodded towards him. Naruto saw his eyes. Fear, hatred. Trust. "Naruto-san, are you alright, now?" Fu asked him. "Worry? The fear is gone." Naruto gave a small nod. Trying to avoid his mother's eyes. "Sochi, are you really alright?" Kushina asked, grabbing him. Startled, Naruto saw her eyes. Love. There is no fear anymore. He could only see worry and love in her. Naruto nodded. "I am fine, mother." He muttered as he hugged her. Kushina blinked. While she had hugged him many times before, this is the first time he hugged her in public. The other Jinchuriki looked towards Naruto in surprise. All of them could not believe he did that. Tayuya smiled, glad that Naruto managed to conquer his fear. When the members of Shinobi Alliance stood listening Itachi's speech, Naruto talked with the sage. "Rikudo, did you go through the same thing I did?" he asked. Rikudo nodded. "We did. We are surprised you defeated your inner demons easily. It is all thanks to your salvation." Naruto thought about what Tayuya did for him. Being his best friend, spending time with him, loving him, dying for him, saving him. Naruto smiled. "I suppose, with everything she did for me, she really is my salvation." Naruto stopped talking with the sage and started to focus his attention to Itachi. Just in time to hear the last part of Itachi's speech, "Which is why I ask you all to stand with me. We will not allow this mad man to take our world from us, our loved ones. With the combined might of our land, we will crush his twisted ambition." The shinobi army cheered. "Rise! We march, to war!" Itachi shouted. "To war!" the army chorused. Then the war began. Naruto and Nagato scanned the area around them. The Shinobi Alliance is divided into two main groups, the Battle Regiment and Support Division. The supports are divided into 4. Surprise Attackers, Medical, Intelligence and Sensor. The Battle Regiment are divided into 5. Mid-Range Battle Division, Short-Range Battle Division, Short to Mid-Range Battle Division, Long-Range Battle Division and Special Division. Usually within each division, a group of at least 4 shinobi were formed. Naruto and Nagato was supposed to be with Tayuya and Konan, but they told them to stay within the main group while they scout ahead. "I do not see anything," Nagato muttered, using Rinnegan's ability to see chakra to scan the surroundings. Naruto narrowed his eyes. "I do not like this. Something is wrong." He could feel something tainting the grounds around them. Kabuto smirked, seeing the army moving cautiously towards the Akatsuki hideout. "So, it appears that Nagato told them of this place, after all," Tobi said as he began to walk out of the hideout. "Going out already?" Kabuto asked. "I'll capture the Jinchuriki." Summon our army. Toby disappeared. Kabuto laughed, our army? No, it is my army. Kuchios, Edo Tensei. Naruto and Nagato instantly moved to a battle stance. Suddenly chakra appeared around them. Where did they come from? Naruto wondered. The underground. Nagato shouted as the grounds around them exploded. 3 figures stood in front of them. 3 figures that Naruto and Nagato knew well. They could feel the tainted chakra in the figures. A reincarnation technique, Naruto muttered. An insult to the samsara. It appears that the technique their enemies used reincarnates humans into a false bodies. His eyes met theirs and he narrowed them. He could hardly see their heart's emotions. It is as if their voices are muffled. This will be difficult, Nagato stated as he threw away his eye patch. Holding back here would mean death. Tobirama, it seems that we are resurrected by your technique, the figure in red armor observed calmly. Yeah, to fight those 2, right? But there are 3 of us here, the figure in blue armor nodded. The 3rd figure said nothing. Watching Naruto with conflicted eyes, Nagato, can you handle the other 2? Naruto did not even indicate which one he meant. He knew that Nagato realized which one he wanted to fight. Sure, I might as well warm myself up before fighting with that masked bastard. Nagato walked towards the 2, Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama, Shodame and Nidame Hokage, known as the Master of Wood and Water respectively. Brother, look, he has a dojutsu, Tobirama commented as he looked at Nagato's eyes curiously. One of them is Sharingan, the other is unknown. I think the Sharingan is a transplant, Hashirama noted. Nagato narrowed his eyes. This will be a difficult battle. I do not suppose we need an introduction. Naruto asked his opponent. No, we don't. How's your mother? He asked. She is fine. I cannot say the same to you, Naruto sighed. When I was a child, I wanted to fight you, to surpass you. I did not expect to receive my wish like this. Naruto, there is no need for words, let us fight, father. No need to hold back. Naruto declared, his chakra rising. Namikaze Minato sighed, alright. Then he smiled, you know. You're as handful as Kushina. I will take that as a compliment. Naruto smirked and enhanced his body with wind. He dashed. Naruto moved towards Minato with great speed. He formed a katana in his arm and swung. Minato held a 3-pronged kunai upside down and blocked Naruto's sword. Wind chakra. How dangerous. If I was late for a second, I'll be dead again. That is the famous Hiraishin kunai. Naruto muttered, staring at the weapon in wonder. Hiraishin, no shinobi in Konoha are unfamiliar with that name. Hailed as the greatest jutsu the Yondaime Hokage had ever made, a space-time manipulation technique. By placing a seal which will mark his target, his father could displace himself from wherever he was to the target. His custom-made kunai all had the technique seal inscribed on it. Minato grinned seeing his son's amazed look. Yeah, only one of them though. This is the only one I have with me the moment I died. I see, Naruto nodded. That means your Hiraishin's target is limited to that kunai, yes. Minato shook his head. Nope, unfortunately, I can place the seal easily anywhere. Like this. Minato disappeared and pushed his palm on Naruto's back. Naruto flipped in the air and threw a sword towards Minato. Minato disappeared in a flash of yellow light. Naruto felt the chakra behind him and formed an earth shield. Right in time as a Rasengan crashed onto the shield. So, that is the yellow flash, Naruto muttered as he took off his jacket. He burned them without a second thought. I suppose this means I cannot allow you to touch me, Naruto stated as he saw Minato standing with his kunai raised. Do you think it'll be that easy? Minato threw his kunai and disappeared. Naruto formed another sword and slashed the space beside the kunai without hesitation. Minato pushed the sword away with the kunai, missing his head by a small margin. That's dangerous. You really plan to kill me, don't you? Not kill. I am merely sending you back to the cycle, Naruto answered as a sword formed in his other hand and he swung it to cut Minato's head. Cycle? Minato asked, avoiding the sword. And what's with the swords? Are you using a seal to summon them or something? Naruto swung faster, enhancing his movement with wind chakra. The cycle of samsara, the cycle of rebirth. As for my swords, they are my eyes' abilities. Eyes? Minato stared at Naruto's face questioningly. Now that you mention it, what's with the eyes? He asked. He did not recall possessing a dojutsu, and as far as he knew, neither did Kushina. These are my eyes. No one else in this world have them, Naruto answered Minato's inquiry. Minato raised an eyebrow. What are its powers? He asked curiously. A chain appeared from Naruto's hand and stabbed through Minato's chest. This is one of them, Naruto told him. Minato sighed. Too bad, Naruto. This technique can't be broken that easily, Minato told him as he threw the kunai. Naruto's eyes widened and he jumped away. When Minato appeared, he grabbed the kunai and landed on the ground. Naruto saw the hole on his chest closing. Well, this is troublesome. Nagato avoided Tobirama's water drill and formed a cannon on his shoulder. The cannon fired and Tobirama's water was evaporated immediately. The blast continued towards Tobirama. One down, Nagato smirked. The Sharingan he received was quite helpful. With the advanced perception it had and the ability to break down the jutsu he had seen, he could replicate them easily with Rinnegan's mastery over elements. That is how he had been keeping them at bay. Water against water, wood against wood. Just before the blast reached Tobirama, a wall made of earth rose. The blast exploded, destroying it, but Nagato knew that Tobirama was unharmed. Damn it, there were two of them and one of him. He wished he still possessed the 6 paths bodies. At least then, he would not be outnumbered. Uchiha Itachi burned another group of reincarnated shinobi. However, they simply stood back up as if nothing happened. This is a problem. He muttered as he avoided a water jutsu sent towards him. We have to neutralize the source, Itachi stated. Find him. The shinobi of Intelligence Division began their work. Naruto summoned Ninjendo's ability as he grabbed Minato's head. He tried to grab the soul but failed. It is as if he is being chained down by something. Naruto jumped away as Minato swung his kunai. If this goes on, I will tire before I reach Tobi. Naruto thought. You know, Naruto. I think playtime is over, huh? Minato asked. Naruto blinked, then his eyes widened as he realized what Minato did. On the grasses, trees, rocks, the Hiratian seal were inscribed everywhere. Minato disappeared in a flash of yellow. Naruto sensed his chakra appearing on the left and swung his arm. Minato disappeared, and reappeared to his right, shoving a Rasengan to his body. Naruto summoned his chains to block the Rasengan. Then he sent more to capture Minato. Minato kept on disappearing and reappearing, avoiding his chains. Naruto narrowed his eyes. He summoned more and more chains that formed a massive pillar behind him. Zaogongan, he shouted. The pillar exploded, revealing Geto's giant. Minato watched the massive being in awe. Amazing. Vajra, the thunderbolt came from the sky and struck the battlefield. Itachi saw a massive being from the forest not far from him. This is Naruto, Itachi realized. What could cause him to summon something like that? Our scouts reports that the one he is battling is Namikaze Minato. Yamanaka Inoichi reported to him with voice full of disbelief. Itachi narrowed his eyes. Reports of Kage rising from the dead have spread to the army. Many are fighting the past Kage right now, but to hear the Yondaime Hokage being revived. Investigate the area around Naruto. I suspect our target is hiding there, Itachi commanded. Nagato saw Naruto summoning a giant and smirked. Seems like we should get this done with, Nagato said to the two. Tobirama grinned. Will you use one of your eyes technique? This is exciting. Hashirama sighed. Brother, do not let your guard down. He was holding back throughout this fight. Nagato smirked. True. But I didn't do that because I want to. It's because using my strongest technique left me vulnerable for several seconds. Besides, I'd rather not waste any more chakra than I have to, Nagato told the two Hokage as he formed a black sphere. Chibaku Tensei. When the explosion faded, Naruto saw his father's body reforming. He gritted his teeth. Even after being destroyed completely, you still survive? Naruto asked in an annoyed tone. Minato laughed. Don't blame me. Blame my summoner. Naruto sighed. This is annoying. Nagato stared at the massive sphere calmly. He swung his arm and the sphere slammed down to the earth, exploding. Is it over? Nagato wondered. When he saw Tobirama and Hashirama's bodies reforming he sighed. Damn it, how many times are we going to do this? Itachi dashed into a cave where he suspected the source of Edo Tensei was hiding. The Hokage? Kabuto asked when he saw Itachi standing in front of him. Yakushi Kabuto, wasn't it? So you are the source of this trouble. Kabuto laughed. I am honored that the Hokage himself came to kill me. Kill you? You are mistaken. I am here to neutralize you, Itachi stated as he walked towards Kabuto calmly. And how will you do that? Kabuto asked mockingly. Slowly Itachi's eyes transformed. First it formed a 3-pointed shuriken, then it continues to transform until it formed a 4-pointed shuriken with red center. Kotoema Tsukumi. Naruto panted as he countered Minato's Rasengan with his own. How long are you going to stay in this world? Naruto asked as he channeled fire chakra into his Rasengan, exploding it. He skidded back and collapsed to the ground. He still possessed most of his chakra, but his body could not handle the continuous high-speed battle. Naruto cursed as he saw Minato's body reforming. Minato saw Naruto on the ground and sighed. Naruto, before I end this, I want you to know that I am proud of you, Minato said as his body moved against his will and prepared to throw his kunai. Naruto remembered nearly dying by Kisame's hand. Do not be ridiculous. First losing against that man. Now losing against you. Naruto stood back up. I will not accept this. Oh storm. The wind of chaos. Naruto began the incantation. Rage on the battlefield of gods, his left edge tomo began to glow red. Cut. Tear. Rip them apart, there is no way he is going to lose. I summon thee. Tate Hayasusana no Mikoto. A massive maelstrom formed on the sky and the raging warrior god sent his storm towards the battlefield. A tornado incomparable to any others came accompanying the thunders. By the end of the god's rage, the area Naruto battled in was left torn and barren. Damn, Nagato commented as even Hashirama and Tobirama was swallowed by the storm. He was sure if he did not use his heaven path to manipulate the gravity around him, he would be destroyed by the attack too. Seeing Minato not reforming, Naruto fell to the ground, exhausted. Nagato moved towards him and took his body to his arms. I guess we should return and get some medical attention. Nagato muttered as they began to walk towards the headquarters. Naruto's body was laid on a bed while Tsunade and TAYUYA healed him. Soon, Tsunade finished healing him and moved to heal Nagato. TAYUYA stayed beside Naruto, holding his hand. Suddenly a shinobi burst into the medical room. Trouble. The Jinchuriki are taken by the enemy. TAYUYA blinked, processing the statement. Then when she realized what the man said, she turned towards Naruto in panic. If Ruto hears that. She froze. Uzumaki Naruto stared at the shinobi who delivered the report with a livid expression.